that down. Let's move on to this, shall we? In one of the more questionable professional moves I've seen somebody do recently, Greta Gerwig, who's of course coming off what was her #1 box office film of the year, Barbie. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it tipped out like over 1.5 billion. I think it came in right around $1.5 billion, which is, I mean, crazy. That movie was such a global success.
It is.
And
Right here, 1446.
144. So got close to 1.5.
Yeah.
So it got her award season notice. There was Oscar nominations, there were Golden Globe nominations, there was SAG. I mean, it is just nominations all over the place. She then had the world at her feet, and her choice of next project was Narnia. Which, listen, don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater of the IP. I was reading C.S. Lewis long before most of you were. I mean, hell, I read Screw Tape Letters and Mere Christianity and all that stuff before I even read the Narnia stuff. I'm a huge C.S. Lewis guy. But, I mean, the Narnia films kind of ran out of gas. They ran into the ground, and I just don't know that there's a big audience for it now. I hope I'm wrong. But I thought it was a weird choice. Compounding that weird choice, which she was doing it with Netflix, which was really odd considering she had spoken in the past about movies need to be played in theaters. It's like, and yet you're doing Narnia with Netflix. Well, then there came some talk that she was trying to pressure and push the people at Netflix to give this new Narnia film some kind of theatrical release. There was some talk that maybe it could be IMAX. Well, now it's official. This coming to us from Variety. Greta Gerwig's Narnia adaptation for Netflix is getting a theatrical IMAX release. They wrote the following. Greta Gerwig has leveraged her Barbie star power to convince Netflix to give her the big, broad theatrical release she wanted for Narnia, her adaptation of C.S. Lewis's fantasy series. After months of negotiations, IMAX announced that Narnia will be released exclusively on its screens worldwide for 2 weeks in advance of the film's debut on Netflix. Narnia is currently slated to open in IMAX on Thanksgiving Day 2026 and will premiere on Netflix at Christmas of the same year. All right. Couple of questions I have, though. One, if it was that important to Greta, why didn't she get that in writing first before agreeing to do the movie? That's the part that always confused me. Like, hearing about this, she signed on to do the movie, great, and then later saying she's trying to push Netflix to do a theatrical release. Why would you not get that done first? Like, why would you not say, okay, yeah, I'll do this Narnia film for you, Netflix, but I want a theatrical release first. And once we get that worked out, then I'll sign a contract. So I don't understand that part. Fine. This is great, though. This is great, because I agree with Greta Gerwig. These movies belong in theaters. And for this thing to get an IMAX release, good for her. I mean, it's not the full theatrical wide release sort of idea. It's kind of getting a little bit more than even what Glass Onion got. But it's yet another little step by Netflix being willing to get their heads out of their asses and experiment a little bit more with putting films in theaters. They had tremendous success with Glass Onion. Tremendous success with that, not only with how much it made in a small, tiny, limited release they gave it in theaters, but then they reaped more benefits because that theatrical release got it even more attention when they did drop it on Netflix, and it became like one of their biggest releases ever on the platform. I think they'll have the same benefit of this and the same enjoyment of this. I hope this will be another success for them and make them even further go, maybe there are some projects we should be looking at. Maybe we give it a 3-week theatrical window. Maybe we do more films with a 1-month theatrical window. You know, I get it. Netflix makes movies for Netflix. I get that. But the sooner that they learn by putting some movies in theaters first, it's even better for Netflix. I think the better off they'll be and the better off filmmakers will be. Anyway, Chris, you saw this whole situation. It's actually been pretty complex for a while. Mm-hmm. What do you think of this news, and what does it indicate to you?
Oh man, I immediately went to altruism. I went, wow, it wasn't enough for her to revive the box office with Barbie. She's got to save Netflix too, because Netflix keeps getting in their own way. Yeah. Of course they want to put things on their streamer, but why spend millions upon millions of dollars for things that aren't getting theatrical releases? Especially something like this that is so fantastical and worldly beloved. It's been translated to 57 languages. It's sold over 115 million copies. you would want that in theaters because that's just leaving money on the floor.
Yeah.
I think the partnering with IMAX specifically is incredibly smart here because it's not just a, oh, well, yeah, it's on screens. Because a lot of us still have that, well, I'm just going to see it when it's streaming then. You give us that experience, right, for the people who do want to see things in a certain format and see it on a massive screen, have an incredible experience at the movies, not just catch a movie, but really feel it. I think this is just really, really well executed. I understand how it seems a little odd for her not to have this from the jump. I'm wondering how all the negotiations shook out immediately. None of us were in the room. I wish we were. I wish I got to know about that a bit more. But I think this is a really great move for Netflix. And I think that this is exactly what should happen with movies of this potential caliber. Put it on a theater screen and let people go see it, even if it is just for 2 weeks. Because as the data has shown us, it drives traffic to your streamer. So it's just a win-win.
I mean, and that's the part, like the part that if I'm a streamer and I want as many people coming to watch this movie I'm producing on my streaming service, like you said, Chris, the data has proven if you put it in theaters first, you get an even bigger debut on your stream. It actually is good for your streaming service.
Yeah,
like forget about the money you'll make at the box office, which is free money because you weren't going to have it in theaters at all. Every dollar you make in there is free money. So forget that for a second. It's best for your streaming service. And that's the part that I really hope they start to figure out.
The problem is it makes Ted Sarando's brain swell.
Apparently.
Yeah, to like put into theatrical something he's tried so hard to
hard to resist. So hard to resist. But, you know, there was also a time a few years ago that they said they would never get into live stuff.
Yeah,
and
then
here
Raw.
we are.
Yeah.
Right? Here we are now. So we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, CookUnity. You ever feel like so much of your day revolves around planning meals or preparing food, especially when you're trying to eat healthier? I know we all do, but that all changes when you discover CookUnity. Now you can enjoy vibrant, chef-crafted meals without spending hours in the kitchen. It's freed up so much of my time and energy to focus on my other goals. CookUnity partners with award-winning chefs, the same chefs you see on TV and those five-star restaurants, to create small batch meals just for you. These meals are made with fresh, local, in-season ingredients delivered right to your door. And here's the best part. They arrive fresh, not frozen, and all it takes is a few minutes to heat them up. I recently tried their Mom's Sunday Sauce Rigatoni, and it was incredible. Plus, knowing that I'm supporting local chefs and sustainable suppliers makes every bite even better. Whether you want variety, convenience, or just better food, CookUnity has it all. Reset your routine with convenient, mouth-watering meals crafted with local ingredients by award-winning chefs. Go to cookunity.com/Campea or enter the code Campea before checkout for 50% off your first week. That's 50% off your first week by using the code Campea or by going to cookunity.com/Campea. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Greta Gerwig's Narnia film, I still don't know why this movie's being made, but is going to get a IMAX theatrical release, 2-week exclusive window before going on to Netflix. I think this is great, not just for the movie and moviegoers. I think this is really good for Netflix, and I hope they figure that out. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.